Hey guys, it's Max. It's 1:49. I've been working on this video since like 6. Um, Probably be the last time this video's out, but I've already worked 7 hours on it. It might as well show you guys what I have. But I'm trying to do this Alti and SLTY dividend tracker. I just had no idea how hard this is. It's literally probably the hardest thing I've ever done. All I'm trying to do is, you guys have no idea how hard this is. That's fine though. All right, well, let's look at the dividend here. So Salty's been around just a few days. We can look at their premium collected, their net premium. They made 36,000 the first day, 12,000 the second day. The first day wasn't really a full trading day. They just put on positions. That was Wednesday. But then they also made trades on Thursday and Friday. Even though the stock wasn't trading Wednesday, they made trades Wednesday, so it had to have a line there. Well, anyway, they made 36,000, 12,000, and 26,000. Well, if you look at their assets and their shares outstanding, we can figure out what that comes to as far as the dividend goes. That first day they made a 49-cent per share dividend, which is incredible. For one day. Second day was 17 cents, and third day was 21 cents. They got a bunch of new shares in overnight. They doubled their share count and brought in new money overnight. So that's fine. If you look at the cumulative dividend, it's 49 cents, then plus 17 equals 65 cents, then plus 21 equals 86 cents. If you roll that out for 5 days, that's going to come out to about $1.41 for a week, which is 153%. It'll slow down. They've just got off to a good start. We'll see how they do. So far, they have all profits because they haven't had to close any trades. They've just been selling stuff short. And if the stock market keeps going up and they have to close shorts for a loss, we'll start seeing that come out of the profit and loss. But for right now, Salty's golden. All right, so on Alti, they paid their dividend. The last day was Wednesday. That was X day. So then they started the new week on Thursday. Well, on Thursday, they had 10 million in net premium, but on Friday they had 17 million on net premium. 17 million. So, well, they're both a lot. Assets under management actually went up between Thursday and Friday by about 80,000 or something. Nice job. Share count actually went down by 1 million though. So we had some people cash out. That's fine though. If we look here at the cumulative dividend, or the dividend per share, it was 2 cents a share on Thursday, and they made 3 cents a share just on Friday. You add that up, just a cumulative dividends, about 5.1 cents. If you extrapolate that over a week, over a 5 day until next ex-dividend day, they're on pace to make about 12.8 cents now, which is a share, which is a lot. That's 115%. I doubt that'll keep up. But we'll see. We're done. That's why we're tracking it here. Like I say, if I'm still tracking it, I may not be. Okay, I made something new. I can't believe how time intensive this is. Okay, so here is Alti's current holdings. This is as of today. Okay, that really doesn't mean anything to us unless we look at the holdings yesterday. So here's the holdings yesterday, and here's the holdings today. Well, the ones in red are ones they dropped. So Alti has dropped Mara, they dropped Target, and they dropped Workday. But they added Marvell. I believe Marvell has earnings this week, which is good. Let's look at that. I don't mind doing this if this takes an hour or something, which is all it should take. But I've literally been doing this since 6 o'clock, and it's 1:54. I stopped to make dinner. I made myself shrimp scampi. So, maybe cost myself an hour doing that and doing the dishes and stuff. But other than that, I've just been solid. I just don't understand why this is so hard. This is so detailed. I just literally do not see how ETF Delta and in ETF Inspector do it. I have no idea how they do this. And they're doing every single trade. I'm just trying to add up the bottom line. Yes, and Marvell does have earnings. Marvell Technology, Marvel, I think it's Marvell, does have earnings August 28th after the bell. So we'll see how that goes. That's obviously why they are in here. So back to the holdings. We can also see that every holding on the list went up a little bit. Affirm, they added 0.5 percentage point. App, they added some. Every holding went up. And that's because they dropped 3 stocks and only added 1. So it gave them more room for the stocks they had. Some of them didn't go up that much. SMCI just went from 2.51% to 2.54%, just up, 3 bips. But anyway, okay, so we'll see how Marvell does at the individual trade level. At the individual trade level, they did a good job on this. Workday. Now, Workday missed earnings. They bought 175,000 shares, and then they bought another tranche of 175,000 shares, and then they put an option position on them. They paid $230 and $231, $230 for one tranche, $231 for the other. Unfortunately, Workday dropped, and they ended up having to sell Workday at a loss. They sold Workday for $214 and $213. It cost $40 million a tranche to buy it. They sold it for about $38 million. So that's about a $4 million hole in their pocket, $4.5 million. But if you look at their option strategies they did on Workday, they did a good job mitigating the damage. Good job, Scott Snyder. Right here, they put their collar on. And they put the collar on for a $400,000 credit, and of course that's because they sold the call for more than it cost to buy the put for. We'd expect that, and that's a collar on one tranche. Let's see, and they got the collar on the other tranche for a $200,000 credit. So they brought in about $600,000 with their collars, but then they ended up losing about $4 million. So they really only down 3.4. And what's really good is Scott moved the puts up tight, nice and tight. And if you look down here just today, they closed the 2 collars that they put on for $600,000 credit, and they took them off for a $500,000 credit. So they made about $900,000 on the collars total and the option trading generally. So even though they lost about $4.5 million, they mitigated almost $1 million of that with the option trading. So they basically took a quarter off their downside. They lost 25% less than they otherwise would have. That's the magic of options. And great job, guys. Great job. All right, so now let's look at SLTY. Let's look at SLTY's trade history. Now SLTY started with this lineup right here, 15 short stocks, and then they added a 16th the next day. They shorted Dell. Then they got more money in between Thursday and Friday, and they reshorted. They everything they already had on, they put on again because they brought new money into the fund, including Dell. So now they have a lineup of 58 minus 72 is that 14 stocks. And they're all short positions. And then, of course, they have reverse collars on most of them. And I'm not going to talk about any of the individual trades in SLTY because I'm too tired to. But tune into the show this morning with Ambassador Kwan and ETF Delta. I'm going to ask ETF Delta, how the heck does he do this? I don't have any idea how they do this. But once again, to reiterate, we're looking at a pretty good dividend in both of these if the current rate stays up. I mean, especially in Alti. I mean, for Alti to pay 12.5 cents, and it may not, 12.8 cents. We're only 2 days in. I mean, but that's really good. And really, SLTY's killing it also. So we'll see. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to get some rest.